How's it, cuz? It's time to walaau with me, Mr. Walaau19. Join us as we meet your uncles, your aunties, your brothers, your sisters, your brothers, sisters, uncles, cousins, neighbors, grandmother, all the ohana. We'll take you to breathtaking places you've never been, meet famous people you've never seen. Kick back and cruise, you know the ruse.
The day has to end. I'm so happy we made new friends. We'll meet tomorrow, sometime, same place. Looking forward to see your smiling face. Walaau, the day has to end. I'm so happy we made new friends. We'll meet tomorrow, sometime, same place. Looking forward to see your smiling face. Walaau, 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 walaau. Walaau, walaau.
Aloha Kauai, mahalo nui loa, and thank you for joining us this week in yet another exciting and informative episode of Walaau and Diki Chain. Today we're going to get to meet Ms. Hawaii United States turned Ms. United States. That, of course, will be Kauai's very own, our very dear friend, the lovely Amanda Smith. We'll also be meeting a fine young man born and raised here on the Garden Island of Kauai with not one amazing accomplishment, not two, not three, but guess what? 4 incredible, amazing accomplishments. Kauai's very own bodybuilder Taylor Shigemoto. But first, remember, this is our annual Kauai County Farm Bureau Fair. That, of course, is going to be happening this coming Thursday, the 15th, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at the Antone Konavadina Stadium's parking lot, of course. So please, check it out. What can you expect, you ask? Some of the many things. Check this out. We'll see you there at the annual Kauai County Farm Bureau Fair. Once again, everybody, mark down your walaau calendars. The fair is going to be starting at 6 p.m. Thursday, pretty much all day Friday, all day Saturday, and I believe it's going to be ending Sunday evening. So check it out, the Kauai County Farm Bureau Fair. It's so noisy over there. All your friends will be there at the Kauai County Farm Bureau Fair. We have an opportunity to introduce you to a very dear friend of ours on our garden island of Kauai. His name is Taylor Shigemoto. He accomplished an event and really something that I don't believe many people in the whole wide world would have been able to do. But remember, he's born and raised here on our garden island of Kauai. Great family, great roots. That, of course, will be to April and Tom Shigemoto and family. And here to tell us a little bit about this wonderful accomplishment is another bodybuilder and a very dear friend of Taylor Shigemoto, our very dear friend, interviewer, the lovely Lexi Jones.
I'm Lexi Jones here, and it's a beautiful day today, but I am here to celebrate and say a big thank you to the one and only Taylor Shigemoto. Hello, Taylor. How are you today?
I'm fine, thank you.
Good. Now, we are here this beautiful day because we are going to discuss the incredible accomplishments that you have just endured. This incredible journey that you have been on in regards to receiving four IFBB Pro cars, which is pretty fantastic. And I want to first off say thank you so much for your time this beautiful day. And then I second want to start off by starting with your story. I want to hear more about the journey to get to the national stage. Now, many of the viewers might not know exactly what an IFBB Pro is. So if you want to first explain that, and we'll start your beginning of your journey. So go ahead, Taylor.
Sure. So IFBB stands for International Federation of Bodybuilding. And just recently, in the last couple of years, they actually added the words "and fitness" to it, but they kept it. They still keep the acronym as IFBB, and it's the most prestigious award that you can win, next to winning Mr. Olympia or the Arnold Sports Festival championship. As far as amateurs go, I think every aspiring bodybuilder growing up in Hawaii has that goal or in mind of attaining their IFBB Pro card.
Absolutely. And if you are a bodybuilder or in the works of it, that is the goal that you're trying to achieve, is the IFBB Pro card. Now, I want to start with the beginning of your journey. How long have you been a bodybuilder or practicing bodybuilding, I guess?
So I've been really active all my life throughout, from when I was a little kid playing sports and then playing high school. But the actual bodybuilding part, I've been training for close to 12 years in the bodybuilding arena.
Wow, 12 years. That's amazing. Now, can you tell us what your first show was?
Yes, it was actually the longest running show. It was the Paradise Cup. It was back in 2013, and that year it was the 30th anniversary, or it was running for 30 years, and then they actually ran for about 2 more years after that until the last of the two promoters passed away. So it ran for about 32 years, but my first show was Paradise Cup 2013.
Wow, and how did you do for there?
So back then, you were not allowed to cross over. You could only enter in one division. So that was my very first show. I came in as a novice. I entered the men's novice bodybuilding. I came in as a lightweight, which means I couldn't be more than 154 and a quarter pounds. And I ended up winning my class. And I also ended up winning overall best poser for the division. I fell just short of winning the overall title to the middleweight, who I think outsized me a little bit. But I felt I was in more condition than him, but they gave it to the middleweight, which I have no regrets. You know, it was a great battle and a great experience. But yes, that was my first show.
All right, so the first show, 2013, you said. Yes. And then you took a journey. Now, you do your first show. You do really well in your show. But then I know that you made the decision to take about 4.5 years or so off from competing completely. Now, this doesn't mean that you're not training consistently or being really focused on your nutrition and things like that. So can you share why you decided to take that big of a break, I guess?
Sure. For me, Lexi, just simply getting a lot of competitions under my belt wasn't the most important thing. It wasn't about quantity versus more quality. And I wanted to take the time, because I already experienced competing in the Paradise Cup. I wanted to be ready to know that I can win that when I go into my next show. And part of it too, I also worked for Gather Federal Credit Union, so that job kept me busy, really focusing on my career. But at the same time, I was training a lot of athletes or aspiring athletes who competed and helping them get on stage and getting them ready. But really, the main point was I just wanted to be ready and take the time to put on enough muscularity to feel comfortable enough that when I go into my next show, I feel confident that I have a good chance of winning.
Because that time off when you're building that muscularity, it's all about the next package you're going to bring to the stage. And being here on Hawaii, the judges will give feedback as they do for all shows, but it's just really important to take that feedback and learn and grow from it. And then working alongside the other athletes, what was that like? Like being an athlete yourself, being a competitor, and then training and working alongside up and coming athletes.
I love it. I love training athletes. And you mentioned something, if I can go ahead and address that. The part about competition is you can feel like you're in the best shape of your life, go to the show, but the one thing you cannot control is the judge's decision. And for me, doing a show, I always wanted to come with a better package. Of course, I want to win. Number one, winning is my driving force. But I didn't want to come into a show being that my physique was less than what I did the previous show. It was very important that I brought a package that had more muscularity and better conditioning. And regardless of what the outcome was, as long as I brought a better package, then I would be happy and satisfied with my heart that, I did the work that I'm supposed to. So I just kind of wanted to address that.
Of course.
But getting back to your question, if I'm not on stage, the second most I think thing that makes me happy and passionate is seeing my athletes succeed and do well. To see someone start 14 weeks out and be fat basically, or be out of shape, and then train and then come with this amazing package and be so proud of his or herself for the work that they put in. And then if they do well at the show, I cannot tell you how much that makes me happy and how passionate I am about doing that if I'm not competing myself on stage.
Right, and sharing your knowledge and then just seeing their success and the journey that they go along for their entire prep process.
Yes.
Now, after your break within the 4.5 years or so, what was the next show that you participated in?
Yes, so the next show was in 2018, April 20th, which was a very special day because that was my dad's birthday. And so he actually was there at the show, and it was like the greatest gift I felt that I could give him. So that show was called the Stingray Classic, and to date, it's the longest running show now because the Paradise Cup is no longer here. So the Stingray Classic was the show that I did, and it was that year it was the 12th annual. And it's put on by Ray and Pebbles Ronquillo, who puts on a fantastic show. It's well run, very well organized. And for me, I always wanted to do the biggest shows because I wanted to see how I could stand amongst the best in the state. I didn't want to be a big fish in a little pond. I wanted to see, even if I lost, how this old man can stand amongst the best in the state.
Wow, that's really amazing. And so how did you do at the competition then?
So with God's amazing grace, I actually ended up winning 3 overall titles. So 3 swords. I won first place in of course all my classes. So I entered the men's open bodybuilding division. I entered the men's open masters bodybuilding division, and I opened the men's open classic physique division. So I won first place in each of my classes, and then I went on to the overall, and then I ended up taking the overall in 3 divisions. So I ended up 3 swords, just to share, because I know there's a lot of people who don't understand this whole bodybuilding world that actually made history. I was the first person to win 3 overall titles in Hawaii.
Wow, that's amazing. And just to share, it is not an easy thing to do. Takes time and dedication and discipline, determination, motivation, all of the words. It is next level challenging. So first off, congratulations there as well. And then after you competed in the Stingray Classic, which again is one of the biggest shows running here in the state of Hawaii, and it's a big deal. It is ran very well. It's super fun to attend. They also have another show later on in the year, so it's a great one. And having that under your belt, how did you Now, so when you won your divisions and the overalls, then that qualified you for the national shows. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, so then being qualified for the national shows, you decided to compete in your latest show, which is the TCM Nationals. Is that correct?
Correct.
Yes, okay. So the TCM Nationals in Pittsburgh is a very large pro show, and in order to attend or even participate, you must qualify for nationals through a local show is the way to do that. So it took you, is it about less than a year or so that you were going to compete next?
So the Stingray happened on April 20th, 2018, and then the TCM National Show was on from July 17th to the 20th. So TCM Nationals, it actually stands for Teen Collegiate Masters Nationals, and it's a 4-day event, and they have over 1,000 athletes that come into this show. So they have Teen Collegiate Masters, but it's spread out over 4 days. And as you said, Gary Udit runs a very well-run, organized, so smooth. Everything just runs so smoothly. But yes, I had to qualify, and because of the outcome of the Stingray is what made me eligible to compete on the national level. To compete on the national level, you had to qualify and place first or second within your class in the open division, which I did at the Stingray, which allowed me to now compete on the national level. So the TCM National Show was the first show that I chose. And if I didn't qualify or make my pro card there, then I had already registered to compete in what they call the NPC USAs in Las Vegas, which is one of the 2 largest shows in the US. Yes.
Thank you to Lexi and Taylor. We're going to have to take a short break, but stay tuned. We're going to find out a little bit more about this wonderful journey for our very dear friend here on our garden island, Kauai, Taylor Shigemoto, as interviewed by our very dear friend Lexi Jones. Don't go away again, because walaau, we'll be right back.
Aloha everyone, my name is Tom Shigemoto, and I have been a member of the Chamber of Commerce for at least 25 years. I started with Mamo Cummings, and I really can't tell you how long ago that was, but it's been a while. Now I am the co-chair of the Government Affairs Committee and have been for, again, maybe 10, 12 years, but the committee was formed to give something back to its members. You know, a lot of business owners don't have the time to keep up with legislation, laws, policies that the county and state governments always coming up with. So the Government Affairs Committee is another way that the chamber adds value to your membership. So I encourage you all to join the chamber if you have concerns, or even if you don't have concerns, just give the chamber a call and we can certainly address what your needs are. One commonly asked question about the Government Affairs Committee is, well, what do you do? Well, we're basically an advocacy group where we advocate for our members with proposed legislation, again, either with the county or the state. We also are a sounding board for the mayor. We meet with the mayor every other month, and then also with the county council chair. And we go over issues that are either coming up or are being addressed at the county council meetings at that time. And we try to resolve it. And you know, these elected officials also want to use the Chamber Government Affairs Committee as a sounding board for its education and and knowledge. Once again, I'm Tom Shigemoto. I'm the co-chair of the Government Affairs Committee. If you have any questions, please call them. Aloha. Oh.
Feel the beauty of this sign down from the beaches to the highest mountain. Different people living as one in harmony under the sun on the island in the middle of the sea. On the
Puakea Golf Course. Call for your tee times today.
Na meleo kaina.
If you're just joining us, I'm Lexi Jones here with Taylor Shigemoto, and we are discussing an incredible accomplishment within the bodybuilding world. Now we're talking about he won 4 IFBB Pro cards from the 2019 NPC-TCM Nationals in Pittsburgh. Now, Taylor, tell us what that's all about real fast.
Sure. So NPC stands for National Physique Committee. It's the largest amateur bodybuilding organization known in the world, and it's probably the best organization to get into for any aspiring bodybuilders who eventually wants to become a pro and chase down that IFBB Pro card, which gets you into what they call the IFBB Pro League. So the NPC, National Physique Committee, largest amateur bodybuilding organization, which ties you in directly to the IFBB once you decide that's your journey or pursuit or goal.
Right, that's right. And you competed in the TCM Nationals in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and it is Teen Collegiate Masters Nationals, which is a very big deal. You must qualify to even participate and even put your name on the roster. So we're going to discuss a bit further. Now, with your journey to get to the national stage, what did that really entail for you?
You know, Lexi, really a bodybuilding and that is a lifestyle. And I want to say first off that bodybuilding, for those of you not familiar, is not an individual sport. Yes, there's one man or woman on stage possibly collecting awards or winning, but in my case, I had a whole support team behind me, and there's no way I could have achieved what I did without those people behind me. But the journey itself, it's really, bodybuilding is a lifestyle. As you know, you've competed in 2 shows, you've done well. You know that it's not just taking 2 hours of your day going into the gym, lifting weights, sweating, and then going home and then calling it a day. You know, from eating 6 to 7 meals a day every 2.5, 3 hours, to food prepping your meals, to doing cardio, to balancing work and life and everything else. It's really you need to love it, you need to live it, you need to believe it, and you just need to do it. You know, and I think if you're not 110% into the lifestyle, it's going to be hard to achieve success, because really it is a lifestyle, and it takes a lot of time, money, energy, effort to accomplish the things on a high level.
That's right. It sure does. It takes discipline for sure, and it takes the support you shared, and as well as the meal preps and the time that you don't see at the gym. All of that. Also, it's a very serious mind game as well. I think it takes a lot of drive and determination to accomplish this entire process. Now, you did share that you had a 13-week prep, a 13-week prep. So what does, if I'm going to explain this, we're going to explain this. What does a 13-week prep really mean?
Okay, so once we decide, so 13 weeks meaning counting 13 weeks backwards from the show. So we decide once we start our prep, 13 weeks means you're going all out. It's a very arduous grind to where you're, like we mentioned earlier, you're eating meals, 6 to 7 times a day. Everything that we eat is either measured or weighed. So you're putting food on a food scale. You're measuring it either in ounces or by cups or by, by weight. So that's the part about the food prep, and then you're doing cardio. So it can eventually get to the point where you're doing maybe close to 2 hours of cardio every day. You wake up first thing. We wake up first thing in the morning at 4:30 to go down to the gym, do fasted cardio, meaning you don't have anything in your stomach. You wake up on an empty stomach, go down to the gym, do cardio for about an hour, then you go through your day, you do your work, you eat your meals, then you go back to the gym, you train, weight lift for about maybe 2 to 3 hours, and then you do some more cardio after that, and to the point where it could be almost close to another hour as you get close to the show. So you're looking at possibly 2 hours. So aside from your full-time job, the amount of time, if you add it up in a day, is almost like another full-time job that you're doing, but you're not getting paid for.
It is a choice. It is 100% a choice, and that is something that you have to take into account as well. You're you're pushing yourself to limits that you didn't even necessarily know existed, and you're being disciplined, and you're motivating yourself and determined to accomplish this goal, and that goal is to get onto stage and hopefully place well, hopefully look your very, very best, bring your best package to the stage, and it is a challenge, but it is incredible at the same time. Now, tell us how you did on the national stage.
Yes, so Lexi, my main goal going to the TCN Nationals was to earn my pro card. And just to give a little bit history about the pro card in Hawaii, prior to me leaving to Pittsburgh, there was a total of about 35 IFBB pros, both men and women within the state of Hawaii. Majority of them came from the island of Oahu, with a few sprinkled from the Maui County as well as the Big Island County. The motivating factor for me was that there was no one ever from Kauai who earned their IFBB Pro. There was a few athletes that have come close recently in getting it, and I know a bunch of athletes that is very hungry in getting it, and maybe you're one of them, possibly. But you know, so for me, that was like the driving force in getting my pro card. And you know, with God's amazing grace, I was able to compete in 4 different divisions, and I ended up winning 4 IFBB Pro cards.
Oh my goodness, that's amazing. Congratulations. Oh my gosh, that is amazing. Now tell us the classes you participated in.
Yes, so I competed in 2 divisions, what they call the bodybuilding division and also the classic physique division. Now within the bodybuilding division, you have different weight classes, you know, going all the way from the smallest class, which is a bantamweight, working its way up all the way to the biggest class, which is a super heavyweight. And for my weight class, I came in as what they call a welterweight, which is between a lightweight and a middleweight, which means I had to come in no heavier than 165 and a quarter pounds. And then, so bodybuilding division, welterweight class. Now there's age groups also. So I competed in both the 35 and over as well as the 40 and over in the bodybuilding. Okay, and then now on the classic physique side, classic physique, I competed in what they call the class A. And class A, or every class, is based on your height and your weight. So that a 6'2" guy who weighs maybe, I don't know, 200 something pounds, they can be judged equally against someone who's 5'2", weighing, you know, maybe 150 pounds or so. So in a class A, I came in within the 5'5" to 5'6" category, which means my weight had to be no more than 170 pounds. And so within class A, classic physique, I also competed again in the 35 and over as well as in the 40 and over. So basically 2 divisions, 4 different classes.
Wow, and you got 4 IFBB Pro cards.
So the rules were a little bit different for each division. So for classic physique, because it's such a popular division and there's so many contestants within each class, to get your pro card, you had to place either first or second within your class. And again, with God's amazing grace, I was able to pull 2 first place wins in both the 35 and over and the 40 and over for classic physique. Bodybuilding division, the rules are a little bit different. You have to win your class, and then you go on to the overall, compete against the 6 other people from their respective classes, super heavyweight down to bantam, and you need to place top 4 in the overall to get your pro card. And I placed 3rd in both divisions for the bodybuilding division.
So Taylor, you did incredible at the national stage. Congratulations to you. I also want to ask one other question while I have you here. What was the feeling like to step on a stage of that size and to, after you made it through your 13-week prep, what was it like for you to be on stage, like that moment?
Yes, Lexi, one word: phenomenal. You know, I've seen high caliber athletes on the state level, but for being my first time on the national level and to see just athletes, just stacked animals, just amazing physiques, you know, it was incredible. And I was almost, I wouldn't say starstruck, but just like in awe, you know, that I'm actually with these amazing athletes, competing with them side by side, and to have every single athlete in the class be in top shape. You know, on the state level, you get like maybe 1 or 2 that is very competitive, and then the rest is like, they probably decided last minute to enter, yeah? But on the national level, every athlete that I competed against was like on their A game, you know. So I'm still kind of in shock, honestly. I'm still like in cloud 9 too, being that it's been a blur. You know, I know I've been back for like 2 weeks now, but the memories of seeing just phenomenal athletes, I'll never forget it. I'll never forget it. And it like we talked about being a big fish in a big pond, it was definitely a big pond on that national level.
Oh my gosh, I can only imagine this incredible stacks, incredible people bringing their best package that they could ever bring to that stage. So congratulations for standing alongside them, and just that in itself is a win. So, and you did more than that. So well done. And then lastly, while I have you here, I do want to ask, what is next for Taylor Shigemoto, our IFBB pro for Kauai County? What is next? Da-na-na.
Oh, the $1,000,000 question. Lexi, that's a great question. As you know, or as I don't know if people know, so I'll share this real quick. I actually, worked for Gather Federal Credit Union for almost 12 years. And I quit Gather in the middle of February. I was like about a month and a half short of making 12 years working for Gather. And so majority of my career has been in banking. Really, my answer to you is I need to figure things out. I have a passion for banking, and I do have some options as far as banking goes, but I also have some other options with bodybuilding and with training. And so I just want to right now take some time, enjoy the moment. I need to, my wife also, who was, if I may, was in banking for almost 19 years, worked for Central Pacific Bank, and was very successful, or she was the driving force in their success. And crazy enough, she and I almost left banking at the same time to go in and just live the dream, what we call living the dream. So, between banking and between bodybuilding and being a trainer, or maybe even competing more on the pro level, I've got a bunch of options, but I just need to sit down with my wife, who is very important to me, and sacrifice a lot of her happiness, time, and energy so that I can achieve my success. And I just need to figure it out and talk with her to figure out what the next step is.
That's a good idea. I think a happy wife, happy life, right? Well, great. Thank you so much, Taylor, for being here on this wonderful, warm day.
Yes.
And I appreciate you sharing your story and your journey with me, because I'm just always so honored to talk to you about fitness and bodybuilding, and I enjoy seeing you every single day at Kauai Athletic Club. So it's a lot of fun. So I thank you very much for your time today.
Yeah, Lexi, I want to thank you. From the day we met, you've always been a huge supporter of mine. And throughout the years, we've gotten very close, and I feel so blessed to have you in my life, as well as Dickie Chang and Bruce Smalling, Walaau, who's always been supportive. We've met back in the banking days, and to this day, we're still great friends. So I just want to say big mahalo to all of you three, and this has been really a blessing to have all of you in my life.
Well, you're so sweet. Thank you so much. And thanks for keeping it on Walaau.
Aloha Kauai, my name is Joy Kagawa. I'm a sales representative at King Auto Center. Please visit us here. We'd love to show you our new cars, like this new Passport that just came back into the Honda line of cars. Please come in for a no-pressure buying experience at King Auto Center. I'll show you this brand new Passport. Come and see Joy Kagawa, King Auto Center. Please ask for me and see what the King can do for you. Thank you, Kauai. See you soon.
Captain Andy's sailing. Nobody has more fun. Captain Andy's, the ultimate sailing adventure.
Healthier is quality care close to home. Healthier is state-of-the-art facilities and the largest and best team of doctors on Kauai. It's specialty care and caring in a special way. Healthier is Kauai's only comprehensive bone and joint center, with expertise in joint replacement, hands, feet, ankles, and sports medicine. Wilcox Health, creating a healthier Hawaii.
Thank you once again to our very dear friends, and congratulations, Taylor Shigemoto, and of course, interviewer extraordinaire, Lexi Jones. We're gonna have to take a short break. When we come back, we'll be meeting the new Miss United States, Kauai's very own, Amanda Smith.
Thanks, Nikki. I'm happy to be home here in Kauai. I first took the title of Ms. Hawaii United States just recently, I'd say about 4 or 5 months ago, and then just came back to compete from Las Vegas and took the title of Ms. United States 2019.
Now let the viewing audience know, what was your actual platform? I mean, how does this thing work?
So my platform is Minihuni Chef. It's actually my business, my nonprofit organization here in our community. And I teach kids and families how to cook with sustainable foods grown in the Hawaiian Islands.
So, in layman's term, for those that might be just visiting or those that are new to the island, what is a menehune? Hence, how did the name come about?
Minihuni Chef, actually, Minihuni means little people. So I created this program based on our kids in the community, at schools, inside families. So that's where it came from. That originated.
And of course, you are a mom of a beautiful young daughter, a beautiful young son. So you're teaching them nutrition, you're teaching them foods, and you're teaching them actually, as well as the other menehune future chefs, not only nutrition, but how to eat properly.
That's right. So not just my family, around the state of Hawaii as well. So within every single school is the goal here in Hawaii to be able to teach cooking and sustainability to each classroom.
Now, you also have
In the
a
state of
deal
Hawaii,
going with the
we know
DOE or the
importance
Department of
locally grown
Education.
food in our culture
So
and
nowadays,
community.
maybe
Minihuni
the
Chef's vision for a healthy
soda
Hawaii
machines
community
are
involves a strong
a thing of the
commitment to
past,
elimination
or
of harmful eating
candies
habits
or
by providing
fatty foods. I don't want
education,
to blame
skills,
white
and
rice or bread or
opportunities
any
to
of that
create
stuff.
recipes
Is
from
that some of the
locally
things
sourced
that you're trying to
ingredients.
encourage, not just the kids, but the
Minihuni
parents
Chef
to
is
educate
proud to
themselves
unite
that
local chefs and
in the
families
net
and
or the
their
long run, it
communities,
is the
offering
time to
fun,
teach the youngsters
interactive cooking
proper
classes
nutrition
for all
for
ages.
better, maybe physical
You are a
activity
family
or,
looking to eat
or
healthier
learning
food,
activity or
a chef
attention span. I
wanting
mean,
to
does that
share
all
your
tie in
culinary
to
skills
one
with the
another?
We
community.
definitely tie
Or a
in,
teacher.
the activities that are already provided in the school system. They already have PE, physical education, weightlifting, and all that. So my job and my goal is to actually bring in a curriculum. It's a 6-session curriculum where I teach kids how to actually cook. So we're thinking more home economic curriculum, so that way we can share with one another and then create recipes as a team.
Interestingly speaking, it is a tough world out there. No ifs, and, or buts, and there's a lot of single parents out there. But maybe this might be like a new fad because if children, youngsters, are sadly home by their own, at least they might be able to take care of themselves, and all they might need to do is remember to turn on the stove and, more importantly, turn off the stove. But is that something that you've gravitated to or thought about, that at least they can feed themselves and know that they can make a meal on their own, something nutritious?
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, the name of the game is to bring in those chefs from Kauai Community College or anybody who has a actual business within restaurant business, and bring them in to teach them the necessities and the skills that they need to learn in order to operate a kitchen or to pick up a knife, to properly cook the food, what temperatures and how that would look for them. So ultimately, it's just have them create alongside having those skills to take home.
So when you do your class or you with your own children, after everything's all said and done, is there like KP duties? Or, I mean, do they need to wash the dishes? Do they need to wipe the dishes, clean up? I mean, how does that all work?
Absolutely. So they're actually learning step-by-step process within these 6-lesson curriculum. They're learning the process of actually how to operate a kitchen. What does it look like? How do you set a table? How do you create a recipe? How do you actually sit down and enjoy with your community peers? And so this is giving the opportunity for them to actually take this home with their own family and community.
So first, let's start from the beginning. What made you decide to run for Miss Hawaii United States?
My platform. I really wanted to stand in my own power, and I wanted to show the community of women and also children that, whatever passion that you have and you want to drive within your community, you can do it on a national platform.
So what was that platform?
Well, for me, it was Minihuni Chef, but it could be anybody, anything. Coming back from nationals in Las Vegas, there were tons of women who had beautiful platforms that they've been working on for years. A lot of them have went through sexual abuse, emotional abuse, and those were their huge national platforms, which they've accomplished throughout their lives. So it's incredible, the capacity you can take pageantry and bringing your platform to another level.
And with that being said, God bless, because you are the Miss representing Hawaii, United States. And when you talk about different powerful women with different platforms, I mean, I know that you're wearing the crown, but win, lose, or draw, everybody's a winner, because when people talk about different things like domestic violence or, different various issues about homelessness or drugs or, violence and all these bad things in the world, when they give their heart, passion, soul, and experience, you got to give everybody credit, and you got to give everybody aloha for having the courage to speak publicly about the things that they truly experience on their own personally.
Yeah, absolutely. And it takes a lot of courage and willpower to really stand on a national platform and talk about these issues. And if we don't, we're not bringing awareness to the kids for our future and also families. So, whatever it takes. And, the United States system is all about bringing that platform to another level. And I just felt really fortunate enough to even be standing here today with this title. And I'm super grateful for anybody who has supported me throughout this process. So everybody in this community has really stepped up, and I'm really grateful.
And in a pageant as such, okay, so here we are, there's a lot of pressure going on. You're representing the island of Kauai. You're here in a statewide competition, and they said, brrr, and the winner is contestant number yada yada, Amanda Smith from the island of Kauai. Okay, so yay, yippee, Miss Hawaii, United States. But then that's where the real seriousness go, because a lot of people, whether it's a cheerleading competition, baseball team or what have you, then you got to prepare for the next step, because all of a sudden there's a sudden rush of how am I going to get there? Who's going to do my hair? What the heck am I going to do in response to getting a dress? I got to get there. Accommodations. I mean, that's a lot of pressure just outside of just trying to figure out how do I deliver this stuff? I mean, how do you explain stuff like that?
So I think the most important thing is knowing what works for you and not looking outside of yourself in order to find the dress or the makeup artist. You just have to organize your schedule to make sure that you have the support you need in order to get where you need to go. And ultimately, it comes down to making sure that your goal is met. I see a lot of people who freak out and don't know exactly what to wear, and they're looking outside of themselves. But if you know exactly what you need to do for you and take step-by-step preparations, you'll be able to successfully come in and really share who you are.
And I would probably say, and I don't know, but you might have been the person that had to think the longest, because you had to travel the furthest just to get where you needed to get. And so that extra time, albeit 2 hours, 3 hours, 1 hour, what have you, that makes you think a little bit more like, oh my goodness, what the heck's going on? What was that journey like? I mean, with that different spare time, transferring planes and flights, and finally landing in Vegas?
You know what? I'm going to say that I'm probably not the only one. I know Florida and also parts of New York or the East Coast had to fly all the way over, but I was the furthest west, so that's very true. The experience was actually really fun. I felt really prepared. I felt ready. I felt really supported. And, regardless of, the journey, it's all about coming home and bringing this crown home for these kids and these families here on Kauai.
Beautiful. And what I would like to probably just venture to say is, as a Kauai resident, living in the beautiful homesteads of Wailua, above the Sleeping Giant and, of course, Opaika'a Falls, when it's dark and it's no street lights, and then you're in Vegas, that's kind of like two different worlds.
It's completely two different worlds. You come from a most peaceful spot here in Kauai and you're going to the madness. It's a lot of preparation mentally. So I wanted to say that too, is that it's a mental thing. It's learning to take your game to another level when it comes to your own preparations for yourself.
Now, I've met you when you may have been a wee 17, 18 years old. You won the Miss Kauai Filipina pageant. You just came, went, saw, conquered, didn't know anybody. You won, and we became pals. You did commercials and what have you. But can you tell us about, maybe the confidence level, or can you tell us about how prepared, or, perhaps if you knew what was coming at you in advance, especially on this national pageant?
I want to say that I did win in 2005, but I came first runner-up, which was just like winning to me. It was my very first pageant here on Kauai. I just moved from California at that time. I think I was 2 or 3 years into moving. I think that pageantry, like I've always said, has taken me to another level, each and every single one. I've ran in a total of 8 pageants and gotten first runner-up 5 times. And, I can honestly say that it prepped me for the next thing and the next level and the next level. So it's not about losing. I never called it losing. It was just more of a stepping stone to get to where I really wanted to go.
But with that all being said, the life's lessons and just participating is way, way, way beyond quote unquote winning, because you don't learn until you go through this stuff. And if you're fearful, you said, "Oh, well, I don't want to do it," then nothing happens. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's I'm gonna honestly say every time I would lose the or get into first runner up, I wasn't prepared. I wasn't ready. I wasn't there mentally. I felt outside of myself. And the only way to really win in life and the things that you want to do is to really make sure that you are doing this for you and nobody else.
So how did you mentally prepare yourself? I mean, physically, I know you work out. You're a swimmer. You walk, you run, you do all these athletic kinds of fun stuff. But you obviously sometimes mentally is a lot more difficult than preparing physically.
Absolutely. So it's a whole different level. It has to do with battling within yourself. And a lot of us, when we're thinking about the anxiety of being on stage and subjectively letting judges look at you, it could be a little overwhelming. But again, come back into you and know exactly what you're sharing and come alive through your heart and the way that you look at the audience, and they'll fall in love with you.
Well, being Miss United States, representing Hawaii and the entire nation, are there obligations? I mean, no. So what does your trail look like? Do you need to be different places throughout the course of the year and elbow, elbow, wrist, wrist, wave to people? I mean, where is some of the places that you probably need to visit or go to, and is there a calendar now yet?
I'm currently setting up a calendar. So far, I'm looking into doing magazine shoots, articles, interviews that pertain to Minihuni Chef throughout Hawaii. I'm flying to California, San Diego, and it looks like in September. So I'll be out there doing some coverage on the actual platform and where that's going to go.
So inquiring mind wants to know, according to my liable resources, you do a mean poi smoothie. Are you going to maybe introduce like the very healthy meal of the staple of the Hawaiian Islands of the past, poi, along doing a nutritious smoothie? I mean, is that something that's set up for the blender right around the corner?
Yeah, actually, I'm going to be at the Kern County, or not Kern County, but the Kauai Fair here. So I'll be doing smoothie demos, so you guys can all participate into that. I also will be in Oahu with a celebrity chef, and so that's coming up in actually November. So we'll be participating in as a guest speaker.
So once again, I just want to say I'm here with a very dear friend and a friend of all Koi, Amanda Smith. But as you talk to the children, both young men and young women, the leaders of the future, they're going to maybe see your crown, maybe your sash, they're going to know about who you are. Do you quietly, individually speak to everyone, or do you address everybody all together to let them know that whatever the future holds, it is possible to attain?
I think in larger groups is a lot better, but individuals are great too, because everybody has a great story to share and what they want to do for their passions. So it's important to lead and listen as well, and allow them to actually take their platform and help encourage them.
Well, you're very well spoken. You do well for all of us, but you want to take this opportunity. I know there's a lot of people that had helped you, that had encouraged you, that had donated. Donations are very, very important, but you want to just take this opportunity to share your aloha and thank the many out there. And I don't want you to certainly forget anybody, but there's been so many people that's been by your side, not for many, many years, but right around the corner recently, and of course will continue in your future.
Yeah, absolutely. So of course, Dickie Chang, you were one of my donators, so thank you for that. And then I want to say Stephanie Iona, she has been a big supporter. There's a whole list of people. Lexi Jones, we have Kong Radio, that was really helpful. They helped me put together my website. I believe it was Bonnie and Chris. They were super helpful. They helped me a lot. I did have Chantal. She helped me throughout the process. Again, it's the whole community. And I want to say thank you so much to everybody who donated, because regardless if you got to see me before I left, I know that you were there and you were cheering for me. Some people were crying. They were sending me messages throughout the whole process. And it was just overwhelming and amazing. And I'm super grateful. So I hope to see you guys when I come around to the, around here, and also in Big Island, or if I'm going to be on Oahu. I hope to share my love with you as well.
Well, thank you. And I just want to just say this, when you're in Vegas, so everybody says, oh yeah, she's from Hawaii. Well, when you think of Hawaii, it could be Hawaii Island, it could be the island of Maui, it could be Honolulu, it could be Waikiki. But when you kind of like say, well, I'm originally, and I'm from, not originally, but what you would say is I represent and I live on the island of Kauai. And for many people, when you say Kauai, it's magical, and they just think, "Oh my goodness, Kauai!"
Right.
I mean, that just is like the coolest thing that.
Right. Right. I mean, everybody's usually either from the Big Island or Oahu. So for me being here from Kauai, everybody's like, "What? I can't believe you're from Kauai. Where is that?" So it's a good advertisement too for us here on Kauai. And that being that we're a small island and we're a tight-knit family, you know, it is pretty cool. And being the first Kauai girl to win the United States crown here in Hawaii, this is quite the honor.
Oh, beautiful. And remember, you can travel everywhere, you can travel here and there, but there's no place like Kauai. We're going to have to take a short break, but don't go away. Walaau, Amanda, we'll be right back. Thank you, Amanda, and congratulations. And thank you all the supporters that made this young lady's dream come true. Remember, when you have an opportunity to see her around Kauai, catch her while she can. She's going to be doing a lot of promotional traveling. But when you see our brand new Miss United States, please share our aloha to the lovely, radiantly talented, and effervescent, mesmerizing Amanda Smith. We're going to have to take a short break. Don't go away. Walaau, we'll be right back.
Aloha, I'm Barbara Bennett, owner and publisher of the Islands Monthly Community Magazine for Kauai. Available at newsstands, mailed to you by request, or at the Honolulu and Lihue airports. I invite you to join our local residents and read our stories. All local, all community, all Kauai. Read For Kauai magazine on our website, forkauaionline.com, with more feature stories, videos, daily calendar, and local news that will excite and interest you. Visit us daily, weekly on the web, and monthly in print. Mahalo and aloha.
Hi, my name is Sherry Kawachi. I am a sales representative at King Auto Center, where we have the best new and used cars on Kauai. Standing right next to this beautiful brand new Honda Pilot. Come see this and more at King Auto Center. Be sure to ask for me, Sherry Kawachi. Thank you.
We hope you enjoyed this week's episode of Walaau. As always, we'd like to sincerely thank each and every one of you for watching Walaau and making us possible week in and week out. Also do want to take this opportunity to thank all of you folks and remind you the Kauai County Farm Bureau Fair. That's right, we can help our farmers here on our Garden Island of Kauai learn a lot about agriculture, but participate. It's going to be a great annual weekend here on our Garden Island of Kauai. That's going to be at the Antone Konavadina Stadium, and the parking lot itself, that's going to be beginning at 6 o'clock p.m. on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, pretty much all day. Sunday night it'll close, but we'll see you there at the fair. All our friends will be there. And a special congratulations out to our very dear friend, bodybuilder extraordinaire, Taylor Shigemoto, and of course, Miss United States, Amanda Smith. See them around Kauai, give them the aloha, tell them shaka, congratulations, and voila. It is time for us to heli on. As always, let's all continue to take care of our families, our friends, the name of the Malahini Indiana, and we'll check you out next week. Only, Brother Taylor, Amanda?